Hi, everyone. Today, we'll discuss how Sodexo is taking enterprise-wide speak-up culture to the next level. I'm your host, Bill Coffin, and this is the Ethicast. Sodexo is a French food services and facilities management company headquartered outside of Paris, France, and operating in 55 countries. With more than 400,000 employees, Sodexo serves 100 million customers each day through its food services operations for hospitals, schools, universities, and stadiums, and its facilities management services that includes cleaning and equipment engineering, energy management, and environmental services. In its never ending quest for quality, Sodexo has spent the last few years building up its Speak Up program. This campaign is not just an effort to increase reporting rates, but it aims to make systemic improvements to Sodexo's global culture of integrity. The resulting success story is not only reflected by the company's 2024 World's Most Ethical Companies honors, but it provides a deeply compelling example for ethics and compliance teams everywhere. With us today to share some insights on Sodexo's ongoing Speak Up culture efforts is Chief Ethics Officer Philippe Symons and Head of Group Ethics Program Alexandre Berger. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting us, Bill.
Sodexo has undertaken a campaign to bring its Speak Up culture to the next level, specifically by moving it past merely having a reporting hotline. Can you talk about what brought you to this decision and the role that data plays in it?
As you mentioned before, Sodexo is a very large company. We have more than 400,000 employees. So our first challenge when we launched Pickup 5 years ago was to fulfill the quantitative challenge. It was necessary to have a full coverage of the company, and that's what we reached in the first year of the program. And today we have reached this quantitatively objective, and we could move to this more qualitative approach. The more qualitative was to invest more in quality, in reputation, in confidence, in professionalism. That's really the big change that we've done. It's also very important to us to have KPIs for that. And we will see during the interview, we have a key KPIs for us, which is the percentage of employees who feel comfortable to report unethical conduct. That's really the qualitative KPIs that we are using. So how did we do that? We have started a number of actions that have been very systematic to improve the way we were doing. Like, for instance, a satisfaction survey about the treatment of the speak-ups, like a strict monitoring of the completion time of the files in the speak-up with a KPI which is allowed to that. We have a program to check actively the retaliation situations. We have also a full program, we will come back on that, to improve the quality of our investigation through the group. We have more than 300 investigators, so it's a very critical one. And finally, the communication is also a very, very important element of that. And Alexandre has some examples of things that they've made strong changes about quality through communication.
Yes, absolutely. I think, as Philippe said, our program was a little bit mature now. We all have a whistleblowing line in every company, but we ask ourselves, what are the next steps? So, as Philippe said, our first idea was to listen the feedback we received from the reporter, what they have, what they would like to hear about us. And one thing was very common, about all the satisfaction survey or ethics culture survey we made, is people want to understand what is behind Speak Up. So we launched some short and sweet video named "The Day I Use Speak Up," "The Day I Blow the Whistle," and to demystify what's happened when you blow the whistle, what's happened, during an interview, how we ask a question, etc. So to ensure confidentiality, of course, we make up some detail, but we also use cartoon, to make sure that people can share the testimony without showing their face, and tell their story about the days they use Speak Up at Sodexo and how it contributes to a better journey, with this alert. So it was really, really appreciated by all employees across the organization.
Absolutely. And the other big action, Alexandre, that we've made was a global action to reduce the average treatment duration, because we know that one of the elements of satisfaction of the reporters is this treatment time. Treatment time that we've decreased strongly. If I remember well, we were around 100-day average when we started Speak Up, and today we are around 35 days, which is a fundamental change and also a fundamental element of satisfaction to have indeed this Speak Up at the next level.
Can you talk about how you train your investigators? I understand that Sodexo has a Speak Up masterclass that establishes a set of professional baselines that is improving your overall Speak Up efforts.
Yes, absolutely, Bill. So I think we start with a very minimum standard to define at Sodexo in a big company like us, what are our investigation policy? It was already the first game changer, in our organization. We put everyone around the table, countries, function, HR, legal, ethics, how we can define our standard about investigating. Second, we train every case manager on how to perform an investigation through dedicated learnings, mandatory learnings. And we want to make sure that anyone who have to deal with a case, who have access to this platform as an administrators, have been properly trained and know the Sodexo standard on investigation. And third, as you mentioned, last year we start to have what we call Speak Up Masterclass, to have a real concrete scenario, real example, how to deal with a case, really like situation, like acting role. You have trainers, who plays a role of a whistleblower, who plays a role of a witness, who plays a role of someone who is in the report, who doing like misconduct, to how to interact with them. So it was very powerful and really appreciated. It was a full day meeting, and it was super rich, and it was a very safe environment to practice investigation skill. Whatever they are, auditors, HR, or legal professional.
What efforts have you made to leverage data accuracy to improve your overall Speak Up efforts?
Look, Bill, about data accuracy, I will tell you something about my professional life. When I started my professional life, I was marketing consultant, and after that, I've been marketing director. So it has been for a long time that I've been working with data, and I know one thing for sure is that data accuracy depends fundamentally on how the data is created. It's much more about that about how the data is treated. So we've really made that from the beginning. That means that we've really created clear rules about creating the data, communicating and training people. We come back on the same elements as before, communicating, training, and after that, monitoring what has been done. I will take one example that is very important, another KPI. As you see, we are very fond of KPIs. We have already mentioned several of them. One other KPI is the follow-up of corrective actions that are taken compared to the substantiated case. That's something that we follow, that's something that we publish, that's something that we share with the board. So it's a very critical element. And then we have made the full journey to say again, with all the investigator, with all the case manager, how do we have to create this data? What are all the cases? How do we define corrective action, and to put everybody on the same line, and then to follow up how the people are filling in the system and everything. By having correct data at the start, we can really have a very good leverage about data accuracy. So that would be my advice to everybody, to say, focus your efforts, because today we have sometimes too much data analysts and not enough people who are really looking for the quality of the data, the primary data at the beginning. So that's really the way we have done it systematically, step by step, sharing the results with the audience, telling the people what has been wrong, and then we have really changed the game about data there.
How do your team's partnerships with sister functions, such as human resources and communications, help you to achieve your department's Speak Up goals?
Look, that's an evidence. Ethics cannot work alone. We always need to work with the other departments. Of course, the collaboration with human resources is rather an evidence. We have a lot of cases who are related with human resources, with Sodexo more than 60% of the case, and a lot of treatments are linked to human resource. So that's an evidence. But I would like to underline another example showing that it's good and possible to work further. And there I'm speaking about the collaboration with supply chain, which is a little bit less evidence if we speak about ethics, and more specifically about third-party risk management, because we came rapidly to the conclusion that if we want to have an active third-party risk management, we have to do that with the people of the supply chain. So we've made a whole effort with the people of the supply chain to define what are our common territories, what are our common strategy, and what are our common actions. So in this way, we have defined a strategic approach, which is responsible sourcing, completely linked with third-party risk management. We've defined together priorities. We have built together a supplier's code of conduct. So we have an ethical conduct, we have a supplier's code of conduct. We have a whole process of self-assessment for the suppliers so that they can really check their profile, and we have also on-site audits. So in that way, by collaborating actively with a department which is not evidently an ethical oriental department, we also reach results there. So that's another way of collaborating that we wanted to underline.
And if you allow me, Bill, I will also add that we have a value at Sodexo, which is team spirit. So, for example, and we also have another values, which is spirit of progress. And for example, when we talk about whistleblowing program, what we decide last year is to do an external audit to benchmark ourselves with ISO 37002, which is an ISO standard, about whistleblowing system. And it was really also very key for us, because we are not alone to manage our whistleblowing line, to bring everyone across this audit to benchmark ourselves with IT, with human resources, with management, with the board, to compare ourselves to the best standards that it exists in terms of whistleblowing. So yes, it was very important. I think what is very important with Speak Up in our organization, but also I can hear it on the market with those organizations, is talk to everyone. Speak Up is maybe one of the well-known thing of the ethics and compliance program, and you can federate, goodwill around Speak Up, because everyone thinks it's a good idea. If someone have a problem, they can raise a concern.
Well, Philippe and Alexandre, thank you so much for speaking with us today and for sharing such helpful and interesting details on all the things that you're doing to advance Speak Up culture at Sodexo.
Thanks to you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
For more on Sodexo's Speak Up culture and business integrity efforts, please visit sodexo.com, and on the main page, hit the Corporate Responsibility tab. For a wide selection of free data points, presentations, webinars, and more on Speak Up culture, please visit the Ethisphere Resource Center at ethisphere.com/resources. If you would like to appear as a guest on this show to share a best practice, success story, or your own proof point around how business integrity builds value, please visit ethisphere.com/ethicast. We would love to hear from you. I'm Bill Coffin, and this has been the Ethicast. For more episodes, please visit the Ethisphere YouTube channel at youtube.com/ethisphere. And if this is your first time enjoying the show, please make sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Thank you very much for joining us. And until next time, remember, strong ethics is good business.